What's it been like being a full-time YouTuber for 2 full months? That's what we're going to talk about today on Can You Trust Painfully Honest Tech, Episode 2. Hey there, friends on YouTube. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech, tech so honest it hurts. And today, on the second episode of Can You Trust Painfully Honest Tech, I have asked you guys to send me some questions about what I have felt and experienced and blah, 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 all those kinds of things in 2 months worth of being full-time on YouTube. I asked folks over on Twitter. I asked folks over on my community tab. If you want to be somebody who asks a question, make sure you follow me over there on Twitter at Jason T. Lewis, PHT. Jason T. Lewis, PHT. Yeah. Over on the Twitter, that's where I get my questions. And so let's just not wait around any longer. Let's get to said questions. First question comes from my friend Podcasted. He's got a great channel. You should check him out if you're all interested in audio gear for podcasting, recording music, anything like that. He's fantastic. What's the best method to maintain financial stability given the variation in monthly income? Well, so there's what I do now, and there's what I plan to do. I think the most important thing to do is to have multiple streams of income. Right now, I get my money from YouTube AdSense. I do sponsored spots on my videos. I do sponsored videos from time to time. I also do affiliate links through Amazon and also with companies that send me some of their... If I feel like their product is something I want to recommend, that I also have affiliate links for all the gear that I use down in the descriptions of my videos. Eventually, I hope to be able to do something like get some kind of like Shopify store. Whether I create one for myself or I buy one from somebody else, that way, you know, generating, as they say, the passive income. And then also I'm in the process of making some merch. So that is in process. Merchandise will come soon. You just have to have as many streams of income as you can possibly have. And on one hand, I've got some of them going. On another hand, I'm still working on getting others going. So it's been, you know, I'm a little bit halfway there. But once it all starts going, I feel like it'll be a little bit less variable and a little bit more like you can count on a couple of things to help you make your nut, and then everything else is gravy. CJ Knows Tech, another great YouTuber. You should check him out at CJ Knows Tech on the YouTubes. He asks, any advice on how to get here, as in, like, to where I am? What would you have told your 28K subscriber self? That's a very good question, CJ. I think the most important thing about getting to where I am now was in the summer of 2016. I decided to make 3 videos a week and no fewer, and just do that as often as possible. You know, just extenuating circumstances would come up, but of course 3 videos a week, if not more, starting summer of 2016. And over the course of that time, I think I ended 2016 with close to 4,000 subscribers. And then by the end of 2017, I had 40,000 subscribers. And then by the end of 2018, I had 120 something thousand subscribers. Now I've got 162,000 something. That's the most important thing. Sit down in the chair and make the videos. Make as many as you can, as often as you can, and just give yourself over to that schedule, because that's what it takes to get to where you want to go. I know you already do a lot of this, but this is for everybody out there. So, you know, Tech Rant. His channel, Tech Rant, is really fantastic as well. He asks, are there any financial tools or apps that you use to budget and maintain your business? There are. QuickBooks is one that I've dabbled with. We're still in the process, my wife and I, of figuring out how to put things in places where it makes sense and we can have that sort of balance and that sort of budget. But QuickBooks, I think, is going to be a big part of it. It just takes some time to figure out. I am not a math person. I I'm not very good with money. I don't know if any of you have noticed that, but I'm not very good with money, but it's incredibly important to have a trusted system. It's incredibly important to have a bookkeeping system that tells you like where your money is coming from and where it is going and how much you have at any one time so you can plan for it. One thing that I'm looking to do is bring an editor or two on to do some videos here and there. I want to be able to budget for that expense, because I found that it's going to make me much more productive if I can offload some of that work. So I really need to get the QuickBooks budget stuff all figured out. Pray for me. Cesar asks, would you have been a YouTuber sooner if you had the chance? I've been fooling around with YouTube since like 2006, so like really early on. If YouTube existed when I was 20 or 21, or like like a young person, I think I would have like just drove myself into YouTube and just like did everything that I could to make that work. YouTube is an incredible platform. And when I was younger with my music career and that kind of thing, there wasn't this kind of platform or Twitch or any of those other things to really get yourself in front of people's eyeballs or ear holes. I've slowly gotten more and more serious about YouTube. Obviously, I'm really serious about it now, but I wish something like YouTube had existed back in the mid-90s when I was really getting going with my music career, because it would have been an incredible benefit. Our good friend Roberto Blake is one of the best people out there in helping folks with their YouTube channel, giving advice, giving, just nuggets of wisdom all over the place. He has helped me with this channel extensively. He asks, what do you wish you had known when you were getting started? How would knowing that have made a difference? That's a heck of a question. What do I wish I would have known when I started? On one hand, I wish I would have had more of a background in, photography, videography, that kind of stuff, because those are things that I didn't really know anything about, and I kind of learned on the job, and I'm still, I feel like, not very good at it. In terms of YouTube and the business of YouTube, I really wish that I would have recognized, like my channel name used to be the JTL, and it wasn't really saying anything about tech or audio or any of the stuff that I cover, and I feel like I started to do okay with that channel, but it didn't really take off. When I changed the name of the channel to Painfully Honest Tech, that was mid-2016, and that's when the real upswing started to come. So I guess what I take away from that is make sure that the name that you're using for your channel very specifically gives people an idea of what you're doing. And if you can't come up with a channel name that is sort of specific in that way, then you probably haven't figured out what you want your content to be yet. That's what really I learned after doing this for a while, and if I had known that sooner, I might have had more success earlier. From Twitter, Michael asks, is it difficult to come up with ideas for videos? Difficult is, it's not really difficult once you start understanding like the various layers that you can cover. And it takes a while to understand that. When I first started covering smartphones, it was unboxing and review. And those were the only two things I knew how to do. But now I don't really do unboxings anymore. I'll do a review. I'll do some commentary before the phone comes out. I'll do some commentary after the phone comes out. I try and cover every base, hopefully in ways that other people are not covering the phones. I have a list at any given time of like 20 or 30 ideas that I have for videos. And really it's partially planning what I want each week to look like, and then also somewhat reacting to what the news of the day or the week is all about. So I always have something in the hopper that I can pull out and do, but you have to exercise that muscle. You have to train yourself to really start thinking about all of the different options you have to make videos about whatever topic it is that you're covering. Orlando Theme Park 360 asks, is there anything special you do to ensure you're present with your friends and family, not just there? Present as in, like, engaged. That is incredibly hard to do. Because there's always stuff that, your mind can always be halfway on YouTube. And a lot of times my mind is always halfway on YouTube if it's not all the way on YouTube. So I try and do things like we have family movie night on Fridays most of the time. And, My wife and I enjoy watching sports together, so that's something. My wife and I go out for walks at least once a week. We try to do that. And with my daughter, I'm really trying to get together with her and do some music stuff and help her. She's really interested in music. She's got her own music YouTube channel. She's 15 going on 16, and I try and really spend some time with her just doing that. Friends? I have friends. I swear. The thing is, I don't really leave the house all that often. And part of that is like since I quit drinking alcohol, I lost my social circle, but also part of it is that now I do YouTube. I'm doing YouTube a lot. One thing I do to keep in touch with friends that aren't YouTube friends, I play video games with a guy that I've known for 30 years. I've got other friends on the PS4 that I've met through playing Battlefield and other different games, and sometimes we get together. I don't have a lot of face-to-face time with actual people. I probably need to change that, but it's been a big adjustment in a lot of different ways over the last bunch of years. Okay, Michael back with another question. This one a little bit more to the point. Do you regret leaving your job? I'm going to be honest and say that in some ways, yes. In some ways, yes, I really do regret leaving my job. Regret's probably not the right word. I recognize that I've put myself in a position to make things more difficult for me than they were when showing up at work meant that I got a check deposited at the beginning of every month. Now I have to be much more conscious of where the money's coming from and how the money is coming and all that different stuff. And it's still kind of in the transition period where I'm figuring that out. On one hand, those are the golden handcuffs of a full-time job. You always know you're going to get paid because you're not paying yourself. On the other hand, this is the kind of thing that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to be able to take my creativity and use it to support me in all of the things that I do and not be a deadbeat who's not pulling my weight as a family member, as a father, etc., etc. So regret's not the right word, but I'm much more aware of what I had and what the real pluses were of going to a full-time job. But I also recognize that those are the things that put you to sleep. Okay, exemplar 1. This is the final question, and I guess this is a question for all you people out there. He asks, do you think your clickbaitness has gone a little overboard? There has definitely been a difference since you went full-time YouTube. Now, this is a subject that comes up quite often, the clickbaitiness of my videos. I don't feel like they're clickbait because they don't fit the definition of clickbait. Clickbait is like you show something in a thumbnail or in a title, and then the video itself doesn't actually have anything to say about that subject. All of my videos always talk about what's going on in the thumbnail and the title. I don't think that actually my clickbaitiness has changed. Maybe I've gotten better at it. But what I'm really trying to do is just create titles and thumbnails that will grab people's attention enough to get into my video so that they can then hear the things that I have to say. That's the name of the game. You want people to watch your videos. I'm a writer and I've written headlines for years and I don't always get it right, but I try and do things that will draw people in. And usually to draw people in, you need to connect to them in some kind of an emotional way. If you can trigger people's emotions with a title or a thumbnail, then you're going to get the click. Nobody is making content on YouTube trying not to get clicks. So I don't think that what I do is clickbait. I think that what I do is, maybe somewhat sensational, but trying to entice people, trying to pique their interest, trying to engage their emotions. So if it seems like it's been more since I've gone full time, then maybe I'm just getting better at it because what I do and how I do it has not really changed. You can go back to this same time last year and look at my titles and my thumbnails and see that I was doing what I'm doing then right now. Maybe I'm putting out more videos. Maybe that's why there's the perception that I'm clickbaiting people more. But I don't know. Hope that answers your question. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Can You Trust Painfully Honest Tech? I really like doing this series. They end up being really long, but that's okay. That's okay. Thanks so much for being here. If this was your first time here and you want to come back again and get more of these honest question and answer sessions or tech reviews on smartphones, audio gear, all kinds of different stuff, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, bell notify yourself so you know when the next video has arrived on the YouTube airwaves, and we'll all just get along smashingly. Anyway, once again, my name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest, it hurts. Until the next time, I'm out.